us your first, middle, and last name.
Carlene Suzanne Leffler.
And when were you born?
3/24, 1941.
What's your favorite color?
I like a lot of colors because I like art. Well, I like anything with art. I like painting. I like drawing.
Yeah. And you paint and you draw?
Not professionally. Yeah.
Sure. Ah.
Yeah. They liked my horse I drew with a pencil. So.
Oh, great. Is that in here?
No, they got it upstairs.
Okay. The day that you were born, did your mom give you any information about that day? Was it an easy childbirth? Not?
Well, she had the twin. I was a twin, and she was born. We were born at home. The doctor and my dad helped deliver us.
Oh my gosh!
And I'm 15 minutes older than my sister.
Yeah. Do you hold that over her head?
No.
Sure.
They didn't make it to the doctor. Their car broke down, so the doctor came to the house, and so the doctor and the dad helped. My dad helped deliver.
Oh my goodness. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, good. Good, great. How was your relationship with your mom? Did you guys get along?
Oh, yeah, I got along with my mom and dad. They were good. They were workers. I mean, they always worked, both of them. And very smart. Dad went to Purcell, and then he went to Xavier to be a doctor. But then they got married, so I quit that. And my mom, she was smart too. She did a lot of languages and that. And my brother, he went in the service, the Air Force, and was in Vietnam from the end to the beginning. And he was Secret Service type, and did that, and he made a career of that. What about the boa constrictor that got loose in your mom's ceiling panels? Didn't like that at all. I visited her, but I was always scared because Vicky, my granddaughter, lived down there. It was her boa constrictor. She worked at a pet shop, and she'd bring home all kinds of stuff. And it was loose for 2 months. So I was kind of worried with the kids, and all that.
Did they get it?
Yeah, and it was alive.
I mean, I guess you probably wouldn't have any mice or any other critter issues, though, because you got your boa constrictor taking care of all the other issues.
What school did I go to, and did I graduate? Well, I went to Norwood, and then I went to Finneytown and Mount Healthy High School.
Okay.
I didn't graduate, but I went to beautician school. I went to Marinella, and I was a hairdresser.
Lovely. Why beautician school? What was it?
Loved it because I always wanted to do hair since I was little and young. I like people, and I like to, talk. And it was just, and I have a granddaughter that lives here, Kathy's daughter. She's going to be a hairdresser.
And
my other granddaughter, my other daughter's daughter is a hairdresser.
Favorite thing your mom taught you?
Well, to be careful, and be, and be a person that you want to be.
Yeah.
She really, she was, Mom and Dad, they were workers, so they weren't, it's not like it, you know what I mean? But she was, she'd read, when we were little, she'd read to us and more or less, and, did things like that. She was a terrible cook. My husband taught me to cook.
That's a good husband.
Yeah. Losing my grandparents. Well, I didn't see them that much because they were, then they were like out of state or out, didn't get to see them. But my grandma, my mom's side, they, when she died, we went there to the house, and she died, and it's the first day of spring, got buried on my birthday when I was 12 years old.
Oh. And
That was kind of, yeah.
How did that impact you, especially as a 12-year-old?
It was hurtful, you know. But she was suffering, and I could take that of her not suffering as much as, you know what I mean, seeing God, you know. So
Yeah.
it was all right. If you could change one thing right now, what would it be? Definitely lose weight and be able to walk.
Sure.
I'd love that.
Yeah, sure. All right.
What is something you want your family to do when you are gone? I want them to be happy, not to be sad, and know that I enjoyed them. I got a thing in there, my thing that's written, you know, like a thing, and joy, laugh, and remember the good things. If you could give any advice to your grandchildren now and your future grandchildren, what would it be? I tell them to be themselves, be safe, and finish school and do what you want to be. Is that good enough?
I think that's wonderful.
I'm thankful that I have my kids and they're safe, and they're my great-grandkids. It says, what are you thankful for? And I'm thankful that I have all of them.
Yeah.
I have good kids, good great-grandkids, good grandkids.
Is there anything in particular, though, that they have done for you that has made you feel just the most gratitude for?
They've done everything for me. Everything. I can't go to the store. They go to the store for me. They bring me stuff. They come and visit me.
And how does that make you feel, knowing that?
Great. And they take, you know, when they take me out, you know, it's great.
But that's also a testament to you, right? As
I hope.
As the mother who, right, you've instilled these values into your kids, who've instilled that into their grandkids.
Yep.
That's because of you, beautiful lady.
How did I meet Tom? I met him through my boss.
Oh, do
when
tell.
I was a hairdresser.
Okay.
And my friend, her sister was my friend, because I went to school with her daughter. So she introduced me to Tom, and then 3 months later we were married.
And how did you know that Tom was the guy?
Because he was good-hearted, laughing all the time, and I could tell that he cared for my kids, because I had 3. And he had 2, and we went places. We went to museums. We went to you know, he took them out. Well, we'd go have Halloween. He'd take them out. If they got sick and I was a gagger, he'd take care of them. And he cooked. And
I love that. I love that you call yourself a gagger.
Yeah. What was the hardest time in your marriage? Hardest time was probably he was good. He didn't argue.
Did you argue?
He'd just say, Carlene, shut up.
Did he give you that look too?
Yeah.
You had a really specific look when you said that.
Yeah.
And then when he say that, would you?
Huh?
When he would say that to you?
Well, I knew there was no sense in talking anymore.
I love that. I love that. But before we move on, was there any other just challenges? Even, and it doesn't have to be a challenge with the marriage.
It wasn't a marriage challenge, but it was when he lost his job, when his bosses separated and broke up, you know, the plumbing, when he was excavating. He used to have, before I was married to him, he used to have trucks, semi-trucks, about 7 of them, dump trucks and that, and he had his own business, and he lost it. He lost his house they built and everything. And
so how did the two of you overcome that? I think this is important too, we just worked together, you know, as far as you know, because the bills came with him, you know, when I married him. Yeah. So, you know, like the
revenue and everything, and he always worked hard and always did everything good.
Yeah.
And when he lost the job, we ended up buying a semi, and then he was on the road.
Yeah. How did you handle that as the wife?
Well, he didn't go long distance.
Okay.
So it was more, it was short ones like Indiana and Kentucky, and he'd be home on the weekend or, home in a couple of days, and sometimes I'd go with him.
Oh, nice.
We'd wait and always sit. When he was working at the other job, we'd wait until he got home, and then we'd be eating supper late, but we sat at the table and ate because we did it as a family.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. It's wonderful that, that
Kids need
tradition.
that.
Yeah, that tradition of sitting down, eating dinner at the table.
Yeah.
How that maybe really kind of bonded you guys through that time.
What did your dad do for a living? He worked at General Motors, and he worked 2 other jobs. Well, 3 really. He worked at River Downs. It was a car racing Cincinnati race bowl, and it was Cincinnati Gardens. He was a manager of concession stands at all those, plus General Motors.
Oh wow!
So he was busy.
He was a hard worker.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Who in your life has been the closest friend, and what did you do for your friend as a child? Well, when I moved away, my closest friend was Peggy in Norwood, and then I had a lot of other friends, and they were close, and I always had them at the houses visiting, and we'd go to each other's house, and we decided one time, well, we don't having these kids, we're just going to get dressed up on the weekend and act like we're going, out, and we'd have dances, and like their son had a band, and he'd play in the band, and we'd dance and play cards. We had a lot of fun. Did you remember any pranks your kids pulled on you? Well, I remember what Tommy did one time. I was a smoker at one time, and he put those firecracker things in, those things that go in your cigarettes. He put them all in, and when I lit it, it all popped, and they were looking. I had a picture window where friends were looking in and laughing while I was chasing him I was trying to, of course he ran faster, and I was going to whip his butt. Where are you, a mommy's girl or a daddy's girl? No, I was either one. It wasn't anything that way.
They liked you both the same, and you like them both the same. I like it.
What is your best child? Rearing remedy. Oh, rearing them up. Just be honest with them. Go in there, let them have their time, and I let them cook. I let them, make cookies. I let them Halloween. We'd dress up and have Halloween parties. And Kathy was one time she was I made her a jelly bean, made her dress as a jelly bean, and I put balloons in a clear plastic thing and filled them up with different colors, and had a Halloween party. And all the grandkids and great grandkids, they'd come out Halloween, and Tom would be walking right there with them.
Oh, love that. If Tom was here today, what would you like to say to him?
Well, first of all, I would tell him I love him, and just be around, have him around me, and talk, and have him cook. And just do things together, do the camping, you do whatever we could do. He'd roller skate, he'd ice skate, he'd hike, he'd take him out Halloween. He'd take the grandkids, he'd go to the school when they wanted a parent to go to the school. He'd be right there doing it.
Great.
Tell him I love him. I missed him, and I want him to be like we always were. His illness, was really, that's what tore us apart, because we had to put him in a nursing home and he was there 4 years, so that was hard.
So
Yeah.
how did you get through that?
What happened was, it was hard because I was living here then.
Yeah.
We were living here together. We had to put him in. And my kids took turns taking me, but I would have liked to gone there every day because I gave up my driver's license. I wish to God I didn't, but Tom wrecked our car, and it was hard for me to climb because it was a big General Motors Chevrolet, you know, it was a red truck, and it was a double tandem, and it was just hard for me to get up there. I had to get a step to get up there. So I had to rely on my kids to take me off and on, and they all worked. So, but I didn't, and it was in Bland, so it was easy from here to Blanchester, but it was just getting a ride there. So I would get there a couple times a week, but I didn't get there every day, so that was kind of hard. When he was here, and I was in the nursing home because of my knee, you know, I had a knee for 21 years, and when they operated, it just fell out on his, that's why I was in the chair.
Yeah.
But this one's going bad, so I got to practice more doing steps.
Yeah.
But he tried to get in the truck, and he wouldn't listen. When my grandkids were driving, you know, told him just wait and we'll get you in. And get him out. And he fell out when I was in because he was wanting to see me.
Yeah.
And he broke his hip and that's what kept him in the nursing home, you know, with his lungs and stuff. Yeah. And so that was hard.
How did you stay strong during that time period?
Oh, my kids helped me a lot. Kathy, you know, let me live here, and I got good kids. To them, that was their dad, you know. I mean, their real dad, I don't even want to talk about that, but their dad, you know, he did everything in the world, and they called him Dad. Yeah. They called him Tom most of the time, too, but he did everything in the world with them, and they were, when we lost him, it was bad. He was in the service, too. He was in Korea. And he was a tank commander, and I wasn't married to him then, but I had his, and then when we had ours, I got his medals and everything, because Amy was in the service too, so she got all his medals, and I got him in a case, and pictures of him there. And the albums that I had, I gave to Rhonda, because Amy already took them, you know, got things too. But it was hard keeping it 4 years not having him. That's about what you would send a text to pick up in Frisch's Big Boys. Yeah, when I was a kid, that was when Big Boy came out. Mm-hmm. And we weren't drivers, we were young. We were about 12. We'd send a taxi to go get us a Big Boy, and it cost about 50 cents. The Big Boy, and then the taxi was like $1.
Yeah.
So we'd have them deliver it to us.
Heck yeah. You gotta hustle for that Big Boy. I would too.
Did you have a nickname growing up? They used to call me Car. Because my name was Carlene.
I like that. It's a good nickname.
What was your favorite song? Oh, I have a lot of them because I love music. When I was young, I liked the Crew Cuts. Shaboon Shaboon, and I liked the Platters, and I liked Make Believe by the Conway Twitty. Yeah. A lot of them. I like music. Any kind of music. Yeah. I even like some opera. Tell us about your daughter and fondue parties. Oh, we had a lot of fondue parties with my friends and the kids and all that, and we just like parties, you know, and just gabbed and talked and had fun.
Yeah. Out of all of your kids, who do you think is most like you? Who do you see yourself most in?
I think they're a lot like me, but they're a lot like, believe it or not, Tom too, because they're all good cookers. They're all good.
They got the cooking gene from Tom. Okay.
Bonnie does everything. She does, and she got a lot of that from her my first husband's mom taught her. She lived with her a while because she was.
Is Bonnie the one that lives up here?
No, Kathy lives up here.
Kathy. Okay, continue.
And Bonnie, when she was going to college, she was going to be a legal secretary, and then she went for court reporting. But then her son had seizures when he was 2, got seizures, so she had to quit going for that. And they all went. They all did this. Rhonda went to college. They all did a lot of things. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
There were Kathy. She was, and her husband Larry. They're just great, and they've been awful good to me.
Yeah.
Are you close to your brother or sister as a child? Yeah. Well, we all had our own friends, like my twin. We didn't really hang out together, believe it or not. We weren't identical, and we had identical twins in our school. They were, but we were. Mom taught us to be our separate, personalities.
I love that.
And I talked to her. My brother died, so, and I talked to my brother and wrote him until he passed away, and then I talked to his Alicia.
Yeah.
First pregnancy. No, I wasn't scared, but I was sick all 9 months.
Really?
With all mine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'd eat because I didn't like the dry heaves.
Yeah.
Did you? No, I never regretted working. I liked it, but I liked being home with and when you have that many kids, it's too expensive to pay a babysitter.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
What is your happiest childhood memories? Well, we had more fun living on the block when we lived in Norwood, with everybody, but also when we worked at the racetrack. I was a popcorn girl, and Cheryl did the cooking, the hot dogs and that, and we had fun going there all the time.
Yeah.
And driving.
Oh, I love that.
Dad would let us learn how to drive in the parking lot, his Oldsmobile, back and forth. Did you remember dinner bell you used in Fairground Acres? Well, I bought it as a decoration, and I didn't use it that much, but sometimes I'd ring it. What was your happy memory of family events on trip that you remember? Well, I just remembered when we did the hiking, and we did we did everything. We took them shows, we took them, oh man. They liked the camping.
Yeah.
And we did the camping and that, but we did a lot of things. It was every weekend we'd be doing something.
I love that.
Who were you idol as a teenager or movie music? A lot of them. Of course, Elvis Presley. And
did you ever see Elvis in concert?
No, never got there. And we went. Little Richard concert I went to one time. I was at the Cincinnati Gardens, like him.
Is there a time that you can talk to me about where you did something crazy, like wild?
Oh, I did a lot of things.
Tell me the wildest. And do you think your kids know this?
Well, they know about it. I told them. One time I wasn't allowed to hang out with this one girl. So we all went. There was 4 of us, 4 girls and 4 guys. And my sister told on me. We were just riding around.
The twin?
Yeah. Yeah, she said, "You're with Kathy," and they knew that and my dad happened to be right behind us in the car, and he said, "Your dad got a Nash Rambler with a Nash red and gray?" And I said, "Yeah, he's in back of us." So then I had to stay in a month. I was grounded a month.
Sure. Is there any kind of advice that you'd like to give to your kids, grandkids, future generations? Advice that you'd like to give them as they, move
Grow
through
up.
life?
Yeah, mature. Well, just wanted to tell the truth, no matter what it is, or if you want advice, to ask your mom or dad, because they're ones to be able to give it and be safe, I guess.
Yeah.
I tell her I love her, and I'm glad she's here. I used to fix her hair all the time. I had to fix it when she died.
Good. Anything else that you'd like to say today?
That I'm glad my kids are the way they are, and I'm glad they love God and they go to church, and they're kind, they're sweet. And I have to say, I got great kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a great son-in-law.